Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Truth Works. We are completing our themed discussion around performance reviews for the month of August, and we're going to end it with a little bit of a twist. It's one of my favorite subjects, and it's around the idea of encouragement. One of my favorite flowers are the impatiens. They usually only do well in the shade, and they love water. And what happens when they don't get water is the leaves and the flowers begin to wilt. But when we put water on them, more than any other plant I've seen anyways, they spruce up and they perk up and they look beautiful when they're well watered. And the same is true of us as people. We do well when we're watered, and the water for people is encouragement. I'm reading a book right now that I highly recommend. It's called People Fuel by Dr. John Townsend, and it illustrates this principle beautifully. But for today, we're going to be really brief and just look at one verse from the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verses 24. It says this, "And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works." God has called us as Christ followers to be life givers, and that's especially true of us as employers, bosses, as people in charge. It is important that we manage performance, but one of the best management performance tools is encouragement, because you catch people doing a good job, you tell them they're doing a good job, you encourage them, you give them life, you infuse them with strength and vigor, and they say, I want to do a good job. I can do better, and I'll increase my performance because I'm encouraged. We're life givers. We stimulate one another to love, which produces a good attitude, and we encourage people to good deeds, which is good performance. Let's consider how to stir up one another to love, good attitudes, and good deeds, great performance. It's by encouraging. I have a friend who I shared recently that he was instrumental in the encouragement of another family who's going through a really dark time, and I called him up on the phone and I said, "Friend, I just want you to know you made a difference in those people's lives." And he perked up and said, "Well, thank you. You know, we don't get much encouragement, and we all know the rule of thumb. It takes 10 positive things to counteract one negative thing. And man, do we have tons of negative things speaking into our lives, and the power. There's just never a limit to how much we can encourage one another. Friends, consider each other. Consider it, how we can stir one another up to love and to good deeds." What an encouraging word, a challenging word, and a great way to end the month of August to help us have better attitudes and better performance at work. Have a great weekend, and join us next week for a new theme as we begin the month of September.